There's no one else that's in control of your life except your past. And if you don't reprogram yourself and create these new neural pathways by doing different things that you've done thus far, then you'll be able to not change your life. You'll keep staying the same. One of the best and most extraordinary things that you can do in your life is to change your environment. I am a product of my environment. I changed it and I become someone that I wanted to become. I had to go on a path that was unknown, but a path that I knew I had to take because I wanted to find out who I was. And if you're not satisfied with who you are today, well, you need to understand that since 2018, I've helped thousands of people heal childhood trauma, overcome addiction, get off their anxiety and depression medication, and finally take control of their lives. Many have gone on to start their own business and become speakers, coaches, and leaders who are now transforming lives every single day. I've built a global community with over 3.5 million people, spoken on stages all over the world, and now I want to help you to do the same. If you've ever dreamed of becoming a certified life coach, making a difference and building a life of purpose and freedom, this is your moment. The LMP Coaching Institute is where healing meets transformation and passion turns into profession. Click the link below to apply now and be the change that you wish to see in the world. Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to another podcast episode on the Luke Mindpower podcast. I hope you're doing great. I hope that you're grateful, man. I hope you're grateful. Even if you're struggling right now, even if you're being challenged right now, I hope that you can practice some gratitude with me right now. Maybe you can write down 3 things that you're grateful for. If you're watching on TikTok, you're watching on Instagram, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Let's take a moment of gratitude right now and just write down 3 things that we're grateful for. I'm going to say that I'm grateful for my amazing fiance. I'm grateful for Riverside, which is the platform I use to record podcasts. And I'm also grateful for this Sony camera that I'm using for recording this podcast episode. Sony. So pretty much like technology, we sometimes even take for granted, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you're using a smartphone right now, or maybe you're watching on your TV or wherever it is that you're listening to this. You're using some sort of technology. I'm so grateful for this podcast. You know, the fact that I get to share my wisdom and time with you guys every single week. You know, it's such a gift to be able to connect with the world. And please, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you've ever thought about starting your own coaching business, if you've ever thought about starting your own podcast, starting your own social media platforms, do not for a second discount yourself or discredit yourself or look at someone else and look at the space that you're trying to step into and go, it's flooded or it's saturated. Don't. The reason why I say that is because you are unique. You are unique. There is no one else out there like you, okay? There's no one else out there like you, right? And if you look at someone else or look at what else is out there on social media, on Instagram, on the podcast. Like I was speaking to someone, I think about podcasting, and they were like, oh, starting a podcast, like there's so many podcasts, not another one, right? But guess what, guys? There are millions, if not billions of people who have not heard a podcast before. They don't even know what it is. There are thousands of people who follow Luke Mindpower, and when they get on a call with us and we say, do you listen to the Luke Mindpower podcast? They say yes, and we say where? And they say, oh, on Instagram, on Facebook. The podcast is on YouTube. It's on Spotify, Apple, Audible, Amazon Music, Rumble, iHeartRadio. That's where the podcast is, the Luke Mindpower podcast. People don't know what that is, right? And it's very easy to look at the podcast space and make a decision and go, well, there's too many podcasts. No one's going to listen to my podcast. Who's going to listen to my podcast? And I'm like, man, there's thousands of people that will listen to your story. Look how many books there are in bookshops. Does anyone ever stop creating books? Do they go, oh, hang on a second. There's so many books out there. How am I going to compete? Like, how am I going to release this book? Who's going to read it? All I'm saying is don't discredit yourself. Don't discount yourself. The most powerful thing that you have is that no one is you. And that is your power. No one is you. No one thinks like you. No one's lived your story. No one's been through what you've been through. And that's the greatest gift, that if you are going to give something to humanity, if you're going to give something to the world, it's giving your true authenticity, your true self. It's sharing your story. It's writing a book. It's doing a podcast. It's doing an interview. It's building your brand. It's building your business. It's leaving your legacy. It's not that you have to necessarily leave a legacy, but it's like living the life that you want to live, right? Creating the reality that you want to be living in, because you're the creator of your destiny. You're the creator of your life. There's no one else that's in control of your life except your past. And if you don't reprogram yourself and create these new neural pathways in your brain by doing different things that you've done thus far, then you'll be able to not change your life. You'll keep staying the same. So this is the challenge. What you're fighting against is the old version of yourself, because that version didn't create that success. That version has created the version of who you are today. And if you're not satisfied with who you are today, well, you need to understand that, well, there's different things I need to take action on. There's different information I need to have access to. There's different path I need to go. There's different habits that I need to be taking action on every single day. There's some sort of consistency that I'm lacking. There's some sort of lifestyle or routine that I'm not doing, that I maybe, if I started doing, that would change the way I feel about myself or think about myself, you know? And I really believe as well that we are more creative. What I'm learning as well, like, I have a weird mind, and I think if you've ever been labeled, or, have, I guess I like to stay away diagnosed. I'm not not, because I don't see it as the thing is, my friend Kobe Watts, he's the big guy of ADHD. I don't even like to say he's been diagnosed with ADHD or autism or whatever. And I get it, the spectrum and all that kind of stuff. It's great to know, where you're at and all that kind of stuff. But I could easily say I've got ADHD. Easily I say I've got dyslexia. Easy say that my mind is like weird and wanders and I do weird shit. And sometimes I think and then I lose my train of thought. And sometimes I do weird shit. And sometimes I'm talking and I completely have a blank. And then, like, my mind's like all over the place. Like, but I would love, if you are someone that maybe, I think your environment is everything. If you've been, like, if you're someone who has been ostracized, is that the right word? Or what does that actually mean, ostracized? Let me just, I know the word is like being like ostracized, or something came up, ostracized, or ostriches came up. Ostracize is exclude from a society. Yeah, ostracize, it's the right word. Exclude from a society or group. So if you're someone who's felt rejected, for example, or excluded, right? I truly believe you have a gift, right? And this is the challenge, but because, like, it's the ugly duckling story, you know what I mean? It's like all the ducks are running after the mother duckling, and there's the little black one, the black sheep, the black duckling that's the odd one out, and because they're not all golden, well, that one feels left out. And why is that? Like, let's look deeper into that. Why is that? Because our innate nature as a child is to feel love, is to want love, is to feel supported, is to feel cared for, understood, you know? And so if we never had that, or if we were pushed away, or if we felt rejected, or if we were in an experience, for example, in a very stressful, unhealthy environment growing up, maybe we had parents that were very, very abusive towards each other, or there was a lot of stress. Maybe there was a lot of stress when your mother was giving birth to you. She was going through a lot of stress. Maybe the relationship she was in was really, that can create the mind that isn't necessarily, in who we've become, whatever that is. Like, I'm trying to figure myself out, but I've listened to some speakers and some doctors talk about this, about how pressure and stressful environments, they stop the brain from developing. It stops developing to what it's supposed to become. And then all of a sudden we have all these issues like autism and real struggle, people struggling with ADHD and all that stuff. But I just want to give you this boost of motivation and inspiration, and a reminder that actually being different is cool. Like, not being the same is awesome. You don't need to, but this is the beautiful thing. Like, for you to grow in confidence with whatever you feel that you have,
is probably the most amazing thing that you can do for yourself, is to really love yourself just the way you are. Show up to the world just the way you are and allow people to reject you. You know what I mean? Allow the people to hate on you. Allow the people because this is the thing. If you start showing up, and you start pressing yourself out there into the world and like speaking your truth and sharing your story and reminding people like Kobe does, own your weirdness. Own your weirdness. It doesn't matter about the people that are rejecting you. It matters about you and your story, because you know that you can make a positive impact in the world, because there's so many people struggling with the situations that you're struggling with, and they're going to be inspired by your weirdness, by your greatness, by you owning that and saying, you know what, I'm different. I do weird shit. I forget sometimes. I start a sentence, I don't finish one. I start talking, and then I can't even remember what I was talking about. I pick something up, I put it over there, then I forget where I put it. And then I'm like, what the hell? I'll start a sentence, and then my fiance's like, yeah, what were you saying? And she's like, what were you saying? And I'm like 30 seconds later, I'm like, um, I was just talking about what we're doing next week, or how, the rubbish ban, you have to open the rubbish chute, and then the rubbish chute didn't work, and then the door got blocked. Whatever I was talking about, I'm taking me 40 seconds to process what I'm going to say. And she's going there, what'd you say? So I'm just saying, man, like, get out of this shit of like needing to be accepted. You don't need to be accepted, man. You need to love yourself and accept yourself. And I'm telling you, when you go on this journey, the right people, man, sometimes the problem is we want to be loved by the wrong people, And I know that it hurts, because rejection is shit. I've felt it, I've lived it, I've breathed it, I've been there. And in order to attract the healthy relationship I have, my future wife, I had to live in a bit of solitude. I had to take a break from the life that I'd created, or the life of who I'd become. I had to take a break from my family. I had to take a break from all the people, actually a big break, like all the people I used to hang around with. I don't hang around with them anymore. There's only like one person or two people that I ever meet up with from the past when I do go back to Australia. But I had to like stop that, and go on a path that was unknown, but a path that I knew I had to take, because I wanted to find out who I was, not who I'd become, because of the circumstances and because of how I was raised, and because of what my experiences were growing up with my sisters, my brother-in-laws, my family, the culture, the religion, everything. I wanted to find who I was. And I knew that if I kept living the same life and surrounding myself with the same people, I wouldn't find myself. And that's why one of the best and most extraordinary things that you can do in your life is to change your environment. And so I guess I can really look back now and realize that, wow, I am a product of my environment. I changed it, and I become someone that I wanted to become, not someone that I was influenced by and became that which was surrounding me as I was growing up. Not to say that that was bad, but it was just a moment of, who am I? A moment of like, is there something greater in me that I don't know about? How can I extract that if I keep staying in the same environments, keep doing the same things, keep thinking the same, keep working in the same job? How can I find that inner greatness, that inner power, that I feel that there's something else in there, but I'm struggling to find that? I'm saying, man, change your environment, invest in your personal development, like understand psychology, understand your thoughts, know that if you feel different, it's because you are different. Start owning that shit and stop with this, you know, I get it. It hurts. I understand. And what I'm trying to say is I'm being a coach and a mentor to you right now, and just saying, listen, man, stand up straight, pull your shoulders back. You got this. Put your head up, keep your head up, and move forward and make some better decisions in your life and change your life, because, the only person that's going to do that for you is you. You the best. Don't let someone else drive your car. Stop sitting in the passenger seat. Stop giving your pen away to someone else. Most people, they're not even writing their own stories. People are holding their pen and writing who's the author of your book? Not even you. You're sitting down next to someone else in the lounge room, and they're fucking writing your story for you, and you're reading it, and it's not a fucking good story. It's a shit story. It's like, well, how did I get here? It's like, well, because of my lack of confidence, and, someone else giving me advice all the time, so I just listen to them. So, own your shit, man. Get your shit together, man. There's a beautiful life waiting ahead of you, and there's a future version of you that is excited for you. Is just like, man, I believe in you. I know you can do this. I know you got greatness in you. You know, you got that special fire, man. Like Les Brown says, you know, you got to be hungry, but sometimes maybe we're not hungry enough. So I hope that this podcast inspires you to take action, inspires you to level up, inspires you to push forward, inspires you to take action, inspires you to not give up on your dreams. And just know that I'm always here to help you. And there's a bunch of links down below this video that you can check out if you're interested in learning more about how we can help you inside the Luke Mind Power Coaching Institute. I am sending you so much love because you're here to live your dreams, not your fears. And I'll see you on the next podcast episode. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. See you soon, huh? All right. Bye.